Hi, welcome to Mastering C++ Unlocked. This is the lecture 1.2 syntax. In today's session, we will explore one of C++ core concepts, syntax. Syntax help us break complex text into smaller, manageable code blocks, making programs are more efficient and easier to maintain. What we will cover in this lecture: what is syntax in programming, syntax rules, key components of C++ syntax, and consequence of syntax error. By the end of this lecture, you will have a solid grasp of C++ syntax and how to use it effectively when implementing syntax. So whether you are new to C++ or refreshing your knowledge, let's jump in and start. What is syntax in programming? Syntax is a set of rules that define the structure of code in a programming language, and errors can cause the problem to fail. Without proper syntax, programs would be error prone and difficult to interpret, causing communication breakdown between the code and the computer. Syntax refer to the formal rules that dictate how code must be structured to be understood by the compiler or interpreter. Similar to grammar in human language, syntax governs the arrangement of symbols, keywords, and punctuation needed to write functional code. Violating these rules result in syntax error, preventing the program from executing. Importance: syntax is the foundation of any programming language. It ensures consistency and uniformity, allowing both the computer and the developer to understand the code. Key components of C++ syntax. Keywords are reserved words with specific meanings. Names are identifiers. Names are given to variable, functions, and objects which must follow specific naming rules. Operations used to perform arithmetic, comparison, and logical operations. Punctuation, which help structure the programs and define code blocks. Mistake in any of these components lead to syntax error, preventing the program from compiling. Syntax rules. Variable names cannot start with numbers. In C++, variable names, you can say identifier, must follow specific rules. They cannot start with numbers. For example, naming in variable first value will cause a compilation error. The first character must always be a letter or an underscore. Students are encouraged to use meaningful names like counter or total amount to make the code more understandable and prevent errors. Special character like at or hash are not allowed in variable names. In C++, special characters like hash are not allowed in variable names as they serve other purposes, such as hash is preprocessor directive. Variable names can only include letter, digits, and underscores. Encourage student to use clear, readable names and separate word with underscore. Maximum underscore value or camel case is total amount for better readability. Always end statement with semicolon. Every CC++ statement must end with semicolon, indicating the end of a statement. Missing semicolon are common error as the compiler struggle to determine where one statement ends and the next begins. Encourage student to think of semicolon like periods in the end of sentence and develop the habit of checking for them before running their code. Highlight the IDEs often flag these errors, making it easier to catch missing semicolon. Properly match. In C++, braces group statement into blocks, define the scope of functions, loop, and conditions. Missing or misspell braces can cause the compiler to misinterpret the program structure, leading to error. Encourage students to always ensure that each opening braces has a matching closing braces. A good habit is to immediately type both braces when starting a block and then fill in the code between them. Additionally, using proper indentation within braces improve readability, making it easier to follow the structure, especially in complex nested code. Use proper. After C++, compiler don't require indentation. Proper formatting improve readability and help prevent errors. It clarifies the logic structure, especially in nested code. Encourage students to use consistent style and leverage automatic indentation tools in editor to maintain clean, organized code. Consequence of syntax error. When such as an error is found, the compiler generate an error message and stop the program from compiling, executing which one is correct. So missing assignment operator is, and the semicolon is missing. The example show the difference between correct and incorrect C++ syntax. The correct example use the int keyword and assign to the value of 5, right, and declare the variable x, assign into value 5, and the end line with the semicolon. Both the assignments operator x and semicolon are missing in this one. Okay, so next is, okay, which one is correct, and the second one is this one. So it begin with in IOStream, right, which allow the use of input output function like cout, this one. The main function is declare int main, and inside the function the statement cout hello world output text to the screen. Each statement is properly terminated with semicolon, and semicolon, and program end with the 0 signaling successful execution. These are references. Thank you.